Hey
Hello.
Bob, can you hear us? Oh,
Hi, Sharita. How are you?
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
I have Al's here, Kiyama,
Hello,
just
Al.
Yes, this is on my
Hello.
way. Hey, Bob, we can start. I haven't had a chance to look at your deck, but I looked at it high level and it looks like we're covering the right things. So let's do this. I have a hard stop because I have another call. Let's go through this and then at the end, then we can talk about your proposals, the
Okay,
proposals
great.
that yeah, and then that way we can be on the same page. So,
Awesome.
yeah, okay,
And
we
then,
do have a hard stop. We have a hard stop at 12:45, so we have 45 minutes, but I think we should be
no
able to get through
problem.
this.
Yeah, I think we can get
So,
through it. I should go
okay,
quick. I'll jump in. Yeah, and then just FYI, everyone, I did update the deck, and I plan to. I will send this PowerPoint to everyone because it does have links on how to implement, and so I did on some of the things that are going to be talked about. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump in, okay, guys?
sounds
Um,
good.
Let me get this to go. All right. So just going through Google Ads, content blog, and the implementation recommendations. Let's kind of get to those more in detail as we get over there. So display and local. We did have an issue with display we'll talk about in a moment. Before that, let's get through Google Ads month over month. So clicks were down, 22 impressions up, conversions down a little bit, conversion rate was up higher than January. Cost per click was a little bit higher. Cost conversion a little bit higher as well. And total spend was flat compared to January. Okay, so that's kind of like a quick summary. We did have good amount of Google store visits, and I do want to revisit that. We'll kind of talk about that here in the upcoming slide about how we can get more store visits, but that is pretty good considering, and I'll explain why here shortly. The for time savings, I don't think I need to click into this and jump into it. What I would like to do is get into the spreadsheet instead of this document. This more summary document, kind of what we just went through. So I want to just kind of move on and get a little bit more granular. Okay. Looks like somebody's coming on the call from India, I think. Okay. We'll let him in. Hello there. Welcome. We're just going through the presentation right now. And I'll just keep going. Okay, so again, lack of time, this would be a good one to skip and move forward on, okay? So wanted to get into this, kind of looking at this spreadsheet, and we're going to click into it. I make it bigger so everybody can see it. Okay. Well, let's see. So just looking at the overview, and the main thing that I kind of wanted to focus on is looking at this February here, and the cost that we spent, $5,592 versus the full budget. We're not spending it. We kind of talked about that last month, but the overall, even the conversions, we're doing pretty well considering that we're not fully spending. When we start spending, this should do really well when we get up to the full spend. Okay, and that's what our goal is. So we have good amounts of store visits, directions. These are all pretty good numbers if you kind of compare them below. They're not, and we're kind of underspending, so to speak. If you kind of compare this with, we had a $10,000 spend, we had 2,700, we had 125 more phone calls, 2,000, but that's basically almost double the spend, right? So these numbers, I'm just trying to say, that they're looking pretty good. And then the cost as well, 99 cents, this 10,000, we were paying $1.34 per cost per conversion. So this is really primed to
Hey,
kind
Bob,
of take off. Go
Bob,
ahead.
Bob, we agree that we have to spend to the budget. So it's pretty correlated, right? If you spend more, you get better events. So we agree with that. You don't have to sell us on that. We can keep going.
Okay. So that's it. The product campaigns are working pretty good as well. They're fully spending and working very optimally. And we'll kind of go to the next slide. It kind of explains that. So Performance Max, products, display campaigns. I highlighted that because we're going to talk about it, the cost, overage on that. Demand gen, fully spending. Let's see, efficiency, average cost per click, $1.05, product PMax 58 cents, so that's pretty good. So here's an issue that we found, and I want to just explain it to the team. So we're doing the display campaigns, and it's a little bit unique. So what we did is, so we went in and what we tried to do is go in and edit these campaigns and just switch out we got new graphics, right? The only thing that changes the graphics. So we couldn't change the graphics, so we found out we had to recreate new campaigns. So we recreated the new campaigns that have the 2026 there. And these were a little bit some struggles that we had to get these campaigns working right. And then, but we got them working, the 3 in white. But unfortunately, we left the other ones running. Okay. So what happened is for 3/4 of a month that we kind of had this overrun. So the actual budget, the proposed budget, looking at that column, the actual budget for this is $300 each, approximately $900 actual budget. And there was an overspend on that. We spent 1,744. So we have long story short, we have 844.86 cents due MSI on the next invoice for the error. And so we'll credit that. So just want to make sure that's clear. And what happened? Do you have any questions on this?
Do you understand?
Yes. No, we don't have any questions.
Okay, great. So that was just an issue. We'll issue that credit on the next invoice. Demand gen, no problem with that. Pretty close to the budget. Everything's spending, clicks, impressions. Here's a little feedback on demand gen. Performance. The trends campaign to the customer database, highly efficient. For the website visitors using lookalike, a little bit higher cost per click, bit higher. But the total reach for both, we had 60,000 impressions on demand gen. Okay. And I want to move into Performance Max. Kind of back to that discussion on local. Here's kind of, you can kind of just look at any, almost every campaign, you kind of see where it's kind of underspending. And so we generated 5,500 conversions. We went through the store visits and get that. We talked about the cost per conversion efficiency and then the scaling potential. And so these are some projections that if we can capture that remaining, that we should hit, we can go from 5,563 to 9,140, which should be a record. And it definitely, I think it would have been, this will take about an hour to update. And if we can get that approval today, then we can get it done today. And then I think we can capture March, which is, it's the biggest month for MSI traditionally for years, right? It's always March, right? And we'll talk about that here. So, go ahead.
So I have a question. We agree generally, right? I think we're on the same page that we do want to scale up, but what's the strategy in terms of how you want to scale up?
Sure, here it is right here. Thank you. So the addressing the underspend, so adjusting the bidding behavior to capture more auctions in the underspending campaigns. So what we have to do is we're lowering the target ROAS, and it's kind of constraining the ads. So we have different levels that we want to drop down, and it's percentage levels, and it's kind of a metric that they use, and I could explain it, but it's not easy to get. But basically, we're at this higher level, but if we bring down it by a few percents, it's going to open it up to more people. It's kind of restricting how much it's being shown, because it's kind of making it hit this level. And I could, I think I sent a explanation on it more in detail. It's very technical, and but basically all we have to do, and this is from Google, from AI, from Google, our Google Ads rep, and from AI, all we have to do is lower this ROAS. It's going to take care of it. I'll show you that here in a moment. So loosening the constraints will allow the algorithm to bid more aggressively, so it can go a little bit higher and capture more of that untapped market share. So that's what it's doing. And all we have to do, this, like I say, this will take about an hour to go to each campaign, and we just want to make and we can do it while we're doing the optimization. We can almost go in and just add this while we're in each campaign anyhow, and just make this little tweak. It literally takes like, a minute, 2 minutes, to go in and make these edits. Go ahead.
A quick question. So are you planning to update everything at once?
Yes, we could. Yeah, that would be the I think that would be the best thing.
So I guess our question, because we've done a little bit of research on this as well, is it best to just completely update everything at once, or should we do it in increments? Is there any advantages to either way?
The advantage for doing it all, I think, is you're going to get a lot more store visits instantly. One of those things, can it help? Yeah, a lot. Can it hurt? Not at all. So like when those types of things come up, then my recommendation is just do it all, right? Can't hurt, right? Can help, yeah, all of them, right? So we might as well just put it in. We could easily switch back. If I'm very confident that nothing's going to go wrong with this, that it's that's going to improve everything. So it's going to take an hour, and if something did happen, unlikely, then we could easily switch back to this, because this are the metrics that we're going to use right here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We kind of feel like we want to do it in increments, not
Okay.
all at once.
Sure.
So if we do it in increments, what are your thoughts on that as far as the approach?
Would probably do the ones that are needing the most drastic, which would be the top ones in that 75. We're doing a 25% drop. So that would be from Raleigh to Hayward. Is that right? Looks like Hayward.
Okay.
Yeah. Raleigh to Hayward. These 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 20% of them. And update them to that. And then those are the ones that are going to make the most impact, because they're the ones that are really struggling the most. And so that, I think, would be if you wanted to do a partial, those would be the ones that I would recommend.
It just says you can't do increments.
One more
time. Okay. So you want to share what we're thinking as far as, instead of just tackling the top where he says aggressive, the 25%, we can just kind of apply a 10% to all of the locations?
Yes, is that possible, Bob, to do a 10% increase for all of the locations?
10% all locations. Okay.
And then can we slowly, after we meet again, think on how we want to increase that maybe by 5% if it makes sense, or whatever the change should be. But we don't really want to go to 25 right now. That's a little too.
When you say 10%, what do you mean?
On
Change and-
the recommended ROAS
Oh,
change.
okay. The summer 7, you take that to 10?
Yes.
So take everything, so from 7, 15, 25, take that to 10?
Yes,
Yeah.
but what are your thoughts, Bob?
My thoughts would be kind of because every one of them are a little bit different, and we kind of ran the numbers. You could do 10%, but down you get below, then it's down. They're not recommending that you have to go that far, like from
Yeah.
Pittsburgh down, right? That you have to go 7%, not too much. And 15%.
Okay.
15% most of them, and then the other one's just 25. Pretty close. Not going to make a difference, right? Might as well just go with the. I think it would be to go with the recommendations. I guess the only thing would be on the ones on the aggressive ones, on the if you wanted those to be less, the 75. But I see what you're thinking. I could go either way.
Okay, I do see what you're saying. So I'd say, for the ones that are in tier 3 and 4, that are at 0 and 7, we can leave those the same, but we don't want to, go too high. I don't think we should start off at 25%. We should do like 10% increases over
Okay.
time.
So what you're thinking is tier 1 to tier 2, 10%.
Yes.
Okay, and then tier 3 to tier 4, those are pretty small, but they could that could get them up to do their spend, like that 7% would be just enough to get it up for those tier 3, and then the other ones are pretty close. They're saying just slightly.
Yeah,
The
we
last
can
two.
proceed with the 7% on tier 3.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then for the others, the 15 and 25, we'll just adjust those to 10%.
To 10, and then we'll look at
Got
it again.
you.
If we should increase it again, then
Okay.
we can.
15 to 25 to 10. Okay. 15 to 25 to 10%. And then the other ones will do as is, tier 3 as recommended.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great. All right, we'll get that going. Perfect. I think I'll get that done today. So Performance Max product campaigns are doing well, spending well, it's working so well. A budget increase could be considered here. Just something for the team to think about. But it's kind of doing what it's supposed to. Low cost per click on all these products, so it's working well. So impressions spent. Go ahead.
I have a question. For all of the campaigns, the Performance Max campaigns that are running for the product, are we showing YouTube videos for all of those? Like,
I believe so.
Mix?
Yes, I believe so. I can look that up. But yeah, we put that in the spreadsheet, and I can share that spreadsheet with you that has the copy, and it has a column with the videos. And if those are to be updated, if you have any that should be replaced, you could do that on that you would let me know on the spreadsheet and maybe highlight it or something. And hey, remove this, or comment, remove this video, add this video. And I could share a spreadsheet with you that you could see all the videos and do that with, if that works for you.
That's perfect. Definitely do that, and I can make edits to that and send it back
Okay.
to you.
Perfect. Okay. Make a note. Okay, got it. So we'll do that. This again is working really well. 62 cents per store visit. So it could be something again for the team to consider. More store visits would help that as well. I think we have some room on this, like we talked about, that we're already implementing on the local. Blog content. So Jess is not on the call, correct? Jess is not here.
She's not on the call.
Okay.
Give us 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, hey Bob, Jess is here. Sorry for
Oh,
that.
great.
We're
Hi,
gonna-
Jess. You there? Can you hear me, Jess?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, so just coming into blogs, and so we have these 4 options, and we need 3 approvals. I'm going to send. I mentioned to the team I'm going to send this after. This is slide 21, and but so if you remember, we just had, or if you noticed yesterday, Torona noticed it. We had a 30 by 36 by 36 porcelain post. I'm looking at the 4th line here, and we don't have enough 36 by 36 porcelain. It was something that the product team mentioned, so I thought it was like going to be a big thing, but there's only a couple of SKUs for that. So I wanted to switch it to Architect, which is new large format tile. So that's one, and then we have these other ones. So basically, you have 4 choices. And just to give me 3, and if you want to just say approve all 4, we could save one of them for next month. Okay. So if you you know, you don't have to make the decision now unless you're ready to. And just give me an email, okay?
That's fine, yeah, so I took a look at this, before the meeting, and, I think we could do 2, 3, and 4, I think, for number 1, the sanctuary sleek. I think we can start from the fact that, porcelain slab showers are grout-free, they're not really grout-free, so
Okay.
I would just say maybe number 2, 3, and 4. It's just minimal
Perfect.
grout in the, porcelain slab showers panels.
That makes sense. That's perfect, Jess. Thank you so much. So that that was easy. Okay. These are the blog rewrites are all done. I'm going to send everybody the you know, the update. See if I can get this live slideshow. So you can click on the links and see the new updated rewrite on all these.
And Bob, this was, you had finished the blog rewrites from February, correct? And we
Correct.
paused the rewrites
Correct.
moving. Okay.
Yes, yes. This is just what status on those rewrites that we worked on. So the team has access to what was updated. Okay, and so that's that. And then now I want to talk about. Al asked me to come up with a couple of you know, ideas that maybe the team could consider. Okay, and then 2 things that I thought that might work. So let's talk about. I know that Kiama has something that she's been pursuing, and so kind of went into it a little bit on both sides, on Google Ads and Meta Ads, how the product catalog advertising can work. So let's talk about Google first, leveraging the Google. So what Google has, it has a manufacturer center, and it's perfect for MSI as kind of a manufacturer, even though they're not a manufacturer. That's where the segment that MSI fits in. Okay, so it's going to maximize brand presence and help dealer sales, and we're going to give them really a rich product data. Okay, and so somebody that's using this type of you know, I just did it for MSI Quartz, but it did the same difference for Quartz and Google Shopping. These are type of ads that we're talking about, where people can actually buy MSI products from your dealers. Okay, so that's what we're giving them some option, and I'll show you how that works. Home Depot as well. They advertise MSI Quartz products, then they'll use it as well. I'll show you how it all ties together. So the problem, some of the standard shopping ads, like in the previous slide, they don't necessarily lack a lot of depth, consistency. The pain points, they're often, you know, not giving good images, kind of generic information, missing some of the key selling points, the warranties, maybe inconsistent branding across different vendors, right? So kind of what this can do, the manufacturer center can kind of make it like they're like called the source of truth. Okay, MSI's information's out there, right? We just have to create a spreadsheet that has MSI's the information that we want, right? And it's going to be it would be a dedicated portal for MSI to provide all that data directly to Google. And so the manufacturer, this center is going to focus on what the product is, its specs. You're going to, it would have high definition images, even the video, like we were just talking about a moment ago, right? On every product, we can include that. You can give us, if we have the link, then we'll put that in. We have the video link, we'll have the image link, and using that as a URL, and we're going to put it on the spreadsheet. I actually have a spreadsheet, I believe, have it linked here coming up. So the merchant center, that's for dealers. So dealers use a merchant center. This is where they go in and create these campaigns like we talked about in this previous slide here. They're doing that in a merchant center. But we want to do something for MSI in a manufacturer center, okay? And then they work together to create a verified brand. This is how it works. It's basically a SKU, kind of putting the SKUs together. So we would upload a full catalog that has the GTIN, which is it's a global ID network. The tariff, I should have the name. I know I have it here. I got it on this slide, I believe. So this is would be the spreadsheet that what would be put together in this for this project, okay? So you're gonna need ITN, it's a global
Bob,
trade item.
can you zoom in a little bit?
Sure. And this is gonna be on the, let me go up. Make this a little bigger. Where's the view? Let me just do this. Can you read that better now? Should be good, huh?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
And then when I give you the PowerPoint, you're going to go to this, and it's a thing that you can create. So must-haves mandatory are these 6 columns. Your unique identifier, usually the SKU, the GTIN, which is a global trade item number. I'm assuming that that MSI uses this with their dealers. Does anybody know?
We use it with Home Depot.
Okay, great. So that's perfect. So that GTI number is the one that you're going to want to use. So Home Depot can take this data that you put together, and then that'll be the data that's automatically going to be showing out on any time that they're using that GTIN. Okay, then your information is going to come up. So the brand, is it always MSI? Is there a specific sub brand like Q quartz countertops, Q engineered stone? That could be in that column, right? In that brand, based on what it is, right? We're talking about Q, for instance, or Everlife, Everlife turf, all that, right? Evergreen turf, I think, Evergrass turf. The title, the full product name, the description, detailed 500 to 1500 characters about the product's aesthetic, durability, and then the image link. That's going to be that high resolution image. Those should all be from what's currently on the website. This should be an easy, not easy, but not difficult thing for somebody to put together at the programming team. Some supercharged things. Product line, used to group products. Since you're selling, these columns help you stand out in the shopping tab, used to group the products. So is it going to be quartz? Is it going to be Everlife? That's going to be the product line. MPN, manufacturer part number. If that's something that's available, often same as your ID. You can have additional image links, URLs for live shots or room scenes. You can include up to 10, and you separate those by comma separated. Product highlights, you could list all the benefits, lifetime warranty, that sort of thing. That video link that we talked about, YouTube link, can be put on each one. It has to be YouTube, though. I know that we use Vimeo a lot. They're going to ask for a YouTube URL. So that's when we can use the, if you have YouTube, okay? And we can have a workaround if you have a bunch of videos that are not on YouTube. There might be a workaround. I could look into that. You could let me know. The product page URL, basically pretty straightforward. And then there's a lot of tips here that someone can read through. This is kind of like the structure for a single product that I put together just for Calicut Miraggio Gold honed. So you can see all the details there, okay? And so just someone can read, whoever's going to be in charge of this can just read through and get this, should be able to get this put together pretty straightforward, okay? Any questions on it? And then this is not going to be doing any extra spend, any extra budget. This is just leveraging something that's available. We just should be pretty straightforward updating this, and just need, the hard part's going to be getting this database together.
What did you type in?
So Bob, I have a question.
MSI
So
court.
you're saying pretty much when someone is like, let's say looking up Calicut Alaza and it pops up and it's one of our dealer shopping ads, you're saying that we would have our own instead, or that we're kind of.
No. So what this is going to be enhancing those ads, like some of the things that you want to say, better images. So Google's going to see the images that you're uploading and use some of those scenes, use some of those lifestyle scenes, use your lifetime warranty, the things that is important to MSI. Then that data will come in on your dealer's ads, but they have to be using that GTIN. It sounds like that Home Depot is probably doing that, and you can. And actually, there's a letter that I have for Home Depot that I think it's at the very end here that I put together.
Pick a dealer.
I think it's random.
Here's this document can be sent directly to your retail partners and local tile shops, fabricators, and it's a guide synchronizing your brand assets, how to supercharge your Google Shopping ads. And this is for the dealer to read, right? And you can see it to ensure features high resolution room scenes, detailed technical specs, and verified brand highlights provided by this MSI. Your product feed must align with MSI's manufacturer center data. When our data stitches together, your ads become more authoritative, driving higher click-through rates and better conversion. The critical link is the GTINs and the MPNs. The main thing I think for you guys, it sounds like is the both. The MPN they're saying is more the SKU, and the GTN is the GTN. They can have both of those for you, right? And the brand name. So they give them a consistency. While you're free to optimize titles for your local market, including the core MSI product name, ensures Google's AI recognizes the item immediately. Recommended format, brand, color, material, size, thickness. Example: Q Quartz countertops, Calicut Miraggio Gold, 3cm slab. You can decide if you don't want the size, if you don't want the thickness on there, right? Go ahead.
Hey, this does sound like a good idea. Our question is, what happens in the instances that the product is named different or branded differently? Would that be problematic?
I think that MSIs would supersede it, since it's the manufacturer would label it correctly, and as long as they had if they had the GTIN and they had the SKU, which would be the MPN, then that should then the MSIs, I would think it would supersede it.
Did you show us an example of what?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, check it. I think it has to be whatever name we put, that's what'll come up. Because if we call it Calcutta Laza, but Home Depot calls it Calcutta Davis, it'll never come up. It won't know.
Yeah.
But Bob, I have a question. Do you have an example of what a good page would look, a good ad would look like?
I could probably
We
come
do all
up
this
with one,
work.
but
I
it
wanna
wouldn't
know what-
necessarily, go ahead, Al.
No, because I'm saying we do all this work. I wanna see, they didn't give you examples of what it would look like?
Well, as far as to get an MSI ad, what it would look like is, it's not easy to
Not
put
so
that
much an
together,
MSI.
but
They didn't show you, look, this is what it would look, this is what it looks like now. Forget the product. This is what it looks like now. This is what it could look like in the future. They didn't show
I
that.
could
Are
see
any
if
companies, any manufacturers that have ads that are already optimized this way?
There you
Do
go.
you have any examples of that?
That's exactly.
I'd probably have to ask Google directly to kind of get something like that to know if that's
Okay.
what's being used. And if they could give me an example, I could ask for that.
Okay.
And but
Is there a way, is there also another way to measure success? How do we know if we do this, that it's working? What are the measurements of success for this?
I think your measurements would you'd have to kind of get with your vendors to see if it's working better on their click-through rates, on their
You
hopefully
mean
it would
our
equate to
customers?
sales. Yeah, your
Yeah.
customers, because you're not going to be having any data from this. It's going to be on the customer side, but you can see that they are. You're basically giving the best that they can. I guess the only concern that I have, Al, is when you mention Home Depot using a different brand name, then that could we might not, if they're going to use Calicut, Miraggio, Gold, Hone, exactly, but if they're going to give it their own name, then that could be a problem here. We wouldn't want Home Depot to use this. Then you only want your dealers, your other smaller independent dealers to use this, which would be fine. It would be awesome if Home Depot could use it, but I think it'd still be good either way. If you had both of them, awesome, right? But if you had one, that works as well. Does Home Depot use a different name?
Can we, yeah, I see what you're saying. Can we, for example, on countertops, Home Depot does not change names. But on flooring, like the stocking, most of the flooring and wall tile, they change the names.
Yeah.
So what you could do, Al, is I could check into it. It sounds like that probably Home Depot would be the one that you'd probably want to maybe leverage. Would basically just start out doing a Home Depot version, and you would put all those products as MSI name. I'm sorry, as Home Depot brand, the name that they have, and then the GTIN, and you'd follow this instead of the ones that's on MSI's website, right? And then I could see if there's a possibility to do two of them. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should we just try? Are you saying to try just with Home Depot, some Home Depot colors?
That would be the way to, yeah, you could start with that and just do, if you want, just do Home Depot quartz, and that would be a good test run. How many colors do you carry with Home Depot quartz?
We're going up to 23.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you could just, and that would be like maybe even just a sampling. Then the team could see, how's it working, and then it would be exactly. I could update the lower letter, or someone else can, just basically on what needs to be said to MS in Home Depot, basically as a conversation one sheet, print out, take it over there. However that works with your connection with Home Depot. But as far as this is what we're doing, right? And get their idea. I'm sure that they would be down with it, right? So yeah, and maybe even put the spreadsheet together and say this is a spreadsheet that we're putting together, and you could get it all worked out on your end, and just give me the spreadsheet when you're ready, and I can get it uploaded same day, and we can get this thing going. Any thoughts on that? Maybe starting with the Home Depot temporary 30 slabs, considering it.
What do you guys think? Do we try just with the home? But it's going to show up on Home Depot's ads or any other customer of ours that may be advertising those,
only
right?
Home Depot. Only Home Depot for now. Well, the one thing is are your other customers using the GTIN?
Oh, so if they're not using GTIN, it won't come up.
It, and then the other thing is the SKU. I'm sure your customers are using the SKU, but you're not giving them the global trade. Do you know how they're doing it on these, that previous app, for instance?
I don't know. I don't know how the other customers are doing it. I don't think they use GTINs.
Yeah, I have
If
to
they
check
don't-
with Wayfair.
Yeah, let us check, Sharita will check, like, what does Wayfair do?
Yeah,
What do, some of these other, I think Wayfair may do
Okay.
GTIN,
I
but like,
think so.
the
but-
traditional fabricators are not gonna be doing that.
Right. I think it's more e-commerce.
Should we also take a look at who populates the most already for us?
The most what?
Like, when we go into the shopping tab for MSI, or whatever we are filtering to, should we see who populates the most?
When you say popular, what do you mean? Like,
Who?
Like the dealer that shows up?
Yeah.
Cause
Is
then
it
we'll know what
Wayfair?
they
Is it?
use, cause I don't see Wayfair when I'm.
no, what Bob is saying is that they're not, if the dealer is not using the GTIN codes to set it up,
Yeah,
then this won't work. I know Home Depot uses it.
Mhm.
I assume a Wayfair would use it. But I don't know.
probably. And then I'll check Ferguson. Okay, so I'll confirm what retailers we have. I guess they use the G10. And then can you, Bob, send us some examples of, I guess, a fully optimized, I don't know the right word,
Yeah,
Google ad or shopper, how that looks compared to just what we have currently?
Let me see if I can pull up something, and then I might talk to
Yeah.
Google, see if they can give me something that's utilizing this, maybe the difference, and that may or may not be available. Let me see what I can just come up with something to help. I guess figure out how that could tie together. If you
Yeah.
could put this out with kind of like different setups, different spreadsheets. And I think we could probably work it out. Just have to think about it, how you would put together a spreadsheet that would work across. And it might be something that we need to discuss and talk about. I know that you guys had a hard stop. Let me jump on just real quick. So that's how this would work. Dealer benefits, increase click-through rate, better search relevance, reduce friction, control your brand consistency, know which products are working better. And this is kind of there. Then there's a meta, and I won't get into this, but this is basically a way to do something similar with meta that you're, similar to the Google manufacturer strategy. And we can go over this on the call next time and talk about it, leave it in the deck for next month and get into the details if that, and then also just in agentic, kind of some recommendations there and how to implement on, for MSI to get more agentic on things. Continue implementing schema across product pages, and then these other things that can, and how to implement them, that sort of thing. And I think that's the last slide. To get through the meeting. And then Al, I know that you mentioned the proposal. Did you want to try to buzz through that, or did you?
You guys.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Thanks,
Do you
Kiana
have
and
it?
Christina.
You guys can jump out. All right.
Give
Bob,
us
let's
one
go to the
second.
proposal. Thank you, guys.
Okay, bye everyone. Al, are you going to stay on?
Yeah, but me, Sharita, and Jess are gonna stay on.
Okay.
All right, we talked internally, so go ahead and tee up your proposal, because there may be something you want to add.
So let's see if I can get this bigger. But this is I don't have the PowerPoint in front of me. But this is the one you're talking about, Al,
Hold on. Where does he hear me? Through here or through there? Through up there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go through, we spent a lot of time the last few days going through this. So,
Okay.
there was an email that you sent that had a few different PowerPoints. So, okay, let's just stick with, blogs. Blogs, we agreed to the 11 blogs. And then the new blogs, the rewrites are on pause until we figure out what productivity. Okay,
Rewrites to
Yeah.
pause, okay.
yeah, the rewrites to pause, then if you, okay, if you open a blogs invoice. Is he doing everything on the blogs? Or were there a couple things that Vignesh is doing? Can't remember now.
No, as far as the writing,
The writing
Yeah.
over those other things, is Vignesh doing anything on the blogs? No? Okay. Bob, can you do me a favor? Can you open, do you have one of your most recent invoices for blogs?
On blogs.
that you can open?
Sure. I could probably find one. I know I just,
Okay.
let me see if I could find one. Just, don't judge me on my mess. Yeah, I sent stuff out. I am a mess. Let's see, asking, sent.
So the writing,
The writing, yes. but
Yes.
2 line items, I thought that we did.
it was the authority links.
Yes.
Like we had some questions about that.
Yes, okay, perfect. Yes, there were 2 line items on the.
I think I have it. The
There were 2
meetings,
line items on the blog's invoice that we had follow-up questions to determine, yeah, there you go. Make that a little bigger. Okay, so the question, okay, scroll, can you scroll? Yeah, there you go. So the bookmarking initiative, create 10 social posts to backlink every blog post. That, we had a question on that, and we had a question on the next one, Flooring LVT SEO initiative, create 345 plus average domain. So tell us a little bit about that, so we can determine if you continue to do that, if Vignesh does it, if we need it, if we don't. And I know you've talked about this in the past, but we couldn't remember.
yeah, and then also one thing up at the top, or 2 things, is kind of something for the team to consider. The bookmarking is where we go out and we have a social site that we actually just take, and we have like 4 sites that we go out to, and that we put that post, every post at MSI that we write, we promote it, so to speak, out in cyber, out on the internet, right, in 4 different areas, and we kind of get that out too, so that blog is being seen in different places, right? So that's what we do with that. I can send you examples of that in an email. You could see what those posts look like, and
Oh, wait a minute,
and then that might help.
hold on, just so I understand it. You post these blogs on 4 what? You mentioned the name number 4, what does that mean?
We have there's about 10 of them apparently that we send out to different sources, and I know that we have Gab, we have I know we put it out on Twitter. We put these out in different areas across the internet, that we put these social posts out on every blog. And basically what that does, just so that it's getting found, and we're basically trying to get that, promoted out in multiple channels, right? So that's what we're doing.
The goal there is to get referral traffic where they link.
Yeah, a little bit of referral, and also just that Google's kind of seen that this is being spread a little bit,
Okay.
Spread out, instead of just like it's just on the website, nothing's really happening to it.
Can
Like we
you-
try to do
can
with a
you
lot of
just
things
send
for
us-
MSI. Go ahead.
Is there any way to measure this, or this is just overall SEO?
Yeah, this is it's a little bit like you kind of asked me that before, if I could quantify individual things. I can't really. Overall, I think everything's been successful. If you took away one thing, it might not affect much. If you took away 5 things, it might. Might not. MSI is getting so big, right? But it's just things that we've been doing. It's kind of makes sense.
I guess my question is, the 2 questions. One is, can you send us the 10 places where you put these posts? I'd like to see that.
Mhm.
The
Sure.
second question is if we move to 30, would that be better? You know, why is it 10? Why isn't it
Well,
15,
just for the cost,
25,
I think to
30?
not make
Is
it,
there a reason?
for time, it's just a medium amount, not too many, not too little. And then right a sweet spot of not a heavy budget, was kind of the thinking on it. Just enough at a reasonable budget, was the reason. But, if you did 20, could I say that it would work, that I could guarantee that it worked better? No, I can't, if you doubled it, right?
Okay, all right. No, I understand. Just send us the 10 locations so we can look at it. Okay. The
Okay,
second
and
one
then-
for floor, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So that one, I did send some links. I could show that to you. If everybody has time. Did I send that to, I think I sent that to you, Al. Again, let me find that real quick. Sent Al.
What are you looking for, Bob?
So I was looking for that email that I sent you, and
On which one? On the 10 posts or the 45 plus average? Hey, if you don't
yeah, I
mind,
need
Bob,
to find it.
In the spirit of time, just, follow up on that one, find it and resend it. If you did.
I will.
And
And I'll
But then
just
what
label
about
it
the
as
next one?
as 3845 average domain authority. I'll just do that. And so
What
that was
exactly?
one. And then lastly, Al, with this just at the top, like that.
Bob,
Go ahead.
Hold on, there's a delay.
Yeah.
Like, what is the create three, refresh our memory, what is create three 45 plus average domain authority guest post? Tell us again what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get you a sample on. That's what I thought. So I
Oh,
kind of
okay.
highlighted. Since we just talked about the, I'll send you a sample. I'll send you two different emails. One on the
Okay.
SEO bookmarking initiative, and one on the the 45 plus average domain. So these
Okay, right.
two, and I'll screen cap each of these on the invoice so you know what I'm talking about, and then send it, and then give you examples, and then you can just reply yay, nay.
Okay,
And that was that. And was that the ones that there was?
yeah,
that-
those were the two, because we were going through it with Vignesh and we weren't sure. Nice.
right?
The other question is, I don't know if on the Google, on the blogs, if any of those those tools you don't need anymore, obviously don't use them, right? Because I know we
Oh.
pay, yeah.
Right, yeah, there's not, there was a question on that, Bright Local one. And that was if you want to keep doing those local citations, which is something that we would do about whenever you had a new location, or whenever you would have like we'd kind of go through it a couple times a year, and all 50 locations. It's kind of a long process, but looking at all 50 locations, looking at all of the citations for every, and against the competitors in that area, it's on that thing that we're spending $50, $49 a month for. It has all of them. Like I can go into MSI Orange and look at the competitors and what are the citations. Like when I say citations, that would be like an example would be like what's the Yelp. Like Yelp would be like an example of a citation, right? Or even your Google business profile is an example of a citation. Your location website URL is like somewhere out there on the internet, right? On your Google My Business, on your Yelp, right? And so that's an example of citations. There's hundreds and thousands of citations that you can get. And basically what your competitors have in a market is different. Like Orange is different from Oklahoma on what everybody has, right? So we're kind of looking at the competitors we're competing with, making sure we're coming up with those citations. It's something that we've been doing on the location campaigns for a long time. And we would go into it a couple times a year and do that. and it's a bit of a process, I'll admit. As you can imagine, 50 locations kind of looking at it, and then having citations created that are kind of lacking, and keeping that up to date with everybody in the market, so to speak. Does that make sense? I know I'm explaining it and not really showing it. I can show it in another call. I could actually go take you onto the dashboard. Leave it as is for now. It's only $49.
Show us on another call. Okay. All
Wanna
right.
do
The
that?
next thing you had put together a list of all these tasks. Can you pull that task up? Thanks for doing that you felt you wanted to make sure in the spirit of caring for MSI, thank you, that it was being covered or who was gonna
Right.
handle it. So,
That was that
We
full
went-
list I sent. That full list I sent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a 3-page PowerPoint Word document. Just pull that
What
up
I
a
call? Do you know what I called it?
I think it was like regular SEO task or something like that.
Let's see. Regular SEO task. Let's just say SEO. Hey,
there you go,
very
there you
good,
go.
Sarita. Hey, I need you around here to help
Yeah,
me
there you
find
go.
stuff.
So I think everything, well, can you go to the second page? Where, is this it, Sherry? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so the authority and link task.
But there was another.
I think it looks a little different from the one.
Yeah, can you go to the other email that you had? You had 2 emails of it that
Because
you sent us.
I just had it open too. Let me see.
Go back to the 2 emails that you had showing that had SEO. Bobby there?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I thought you were talking internally. Go back to the email I sent. Al, I thought you're
Yeah,
you
go
had
back
an
to the
email
email you
internally.
sent. You had, there were 2 emails that were up that you pulled up. Go back to the emails.
Back to the emails and it was on this task,
I
right?
can,
Same topic, yeah.
I found it too.
You found
That
the
was
email?
it. That was it. Authority and link tasks, right, Sherita?
Yep, this is it. This one looks a little bit more, it had more
This is
line
the one
items.
we reviewed.
Yeah,
So basically, everything but the authority and link tasks, Vignesh is doing or will be doing. But we had some questions on the authority and link tasks. What were the questions, Sherita?
yeah, so we kind of touched on a little bit earlier. Bob's gonna follow up and send us like where he puts the
Yeah.
45 and all of that. And then the examples of some of the guest posting.
Yeah. So Bob, on this, we just need, more meat to determine if it's something that you'll do or Vignesh can do, but everything else, he went through and Sharita went through it with him and he's doing most of it. If not, we'll be doing all of it, right, Sharita?
Right.
But can you give us
Okay.
more insight onto all of this so we can determine who does it? Not all of it, sorry, on the authority and link task section.
Yeah, and I just forwarded you the doc we're talking about, Rob,
I think
Bob.
it's this one.
Yeah, but I forwarded to him so he can have it for his reference. Because the one he pulled up was a little different.
Yeah, well, but then he pulled this one up.
No, this is me.
Oh, you pulled this.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, this is the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure he had it on his end too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, this
Okay.
did I send you 2?
I guess this is the one that we looked at from you.
Okay. Yeah, this one, so the identify backlinks, meeting the domain authority threshold, submit content for approved guest posts, review new backlinks for quality, monitor anchor text profile, builder update local citations. That was the one that I explained on the Bright Local we talk about next time, build or update the local citations. That's a little bit of a
So is this
process.
is this the wrong one? Is it the other one that we should?
No, this one's good. This one has some good stuff
Okay.
on it. Let me I don't know how I got 2 of them, but yeah, let me look at this and I'll why don't I just maybe prepare an email on these and and get back to you on it?
Don't keep getting back.
Yeah, you can get back to us on it.
Okay, great. So there was that. And then, did you have anything else, Al, at the moment?
No, but everything else Next is gonna do, we just need clarity on this here, and then depending on the clarity we get from you, we'll tell you. I think some of these you'll continue to do, but we just need a little bit of a deeper understanding of what they are to determine who's gonna do it.
Okay, okay.
And then the last thing is, I think you had is the consultancy, what are we calling? The,
Yeah, it's just consultant.
just the
Yeah.
consultancy part.
Like,
It looks like you felt that you needed to be at $3,000 or something versus our $1,650 a month.
Yeah,
Well,
well, then I was thinking on that one, Al, was like, because I've been just, I think everyone kind of understands like my business model. I'll just explain it real quick. And how,
Explain it.
I don't have to.
No, you do. Go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, so like for many years I was doing ideas, right? Just bringing, good ideas, hopefully good ideas. And then they would get usually approved. And then I would just do them, right? And it was like, so I'm bringing ideas so that I would get work. And then, kind of how I made a living, right? That's what I would do. Just do work that would be approved on these kind of the specific tasks. Wouldn't have to explain to anybody because I already knew what needed to be done, so I could already do it, right? And that's how I didn't make any money on that. And then now you proposed that 1,600, and then it does take a bit more time to be educated, to be kind of in the game here on what's going on. And then, but on my caveat on my proposal on my counter was, hey, if I could do some work, then I would, reverse it back, right? Like credit it, the so much of the work. So if it was approved that I could do it, then I'm happy to, I understand maybe sometimes it won't be approved, sometimes it will be approved, but if more stuff could be approved, that would be good. I could even, but more stuff being approved, we wouldn't even have to have this conversation, like it would just be, I would just give ideas. Yeah, Bob, I don't know, 50% of them, Bob, yeah, do that. Then I just make money on that, right? But make my income on that, right? So
Bob, let me interject. Okay. The challenge, I think, and I understand how you make your revenue, and I respect it. Right, you're not gonna make a ton of revenue on the consultancy part, you wanna be able to make revenue on the execution part. The challenge with that is that we have a team that can execute, so why do I need to respectfully pay you when I have a team that's very capable and can execute? Now, if you bring something to us that either we don't have the time, we think it's a value, we don't have the time, or we don't have the expertise, I would gladly give you that project as well. That's not an issue, but if you, like, you came to us with the, what's the Google thing that he just came up with, the
Google Shopping.
the Google Shopping, right? So that to me is a good example. That was a consultancy. I don't know how long it took you to research this. So we pay you, let's just, for this discussion, $165. Now, the next step is, okay, how do we implement that? If the implementation is something that our team can handle, then we handle it. If for some reason we can't handle it, we say, or we don't have the bandwidth, meaning time, we say, Bob, we want you to do that. Then we would pay you for that work at whatever agreed upon rate or project cost that we deem is necessary to implement that. So that's kind of where my head is. And again, I've told you a number of times, if we don't have the bandwidth, the expertise, the time, we'd gladly, have you do it because we want to, right? If it's a good idea, we want to implement it. But if I can do it, our team can do it because we now have a team, then we'll do it. So that's where I'm confused on the $165 an hour versus, I think it's $300 an hour for the consultancy part. So that's kind of where I was confused.
I get, well, I'm also just looking at like, you know, like like the value of like, yeah, like root, like I'll just go back to, this was, initially like the subject of doing tasks, like as a consultant, like, and I'll just, what did Roop say? Something like, hey, Bob, that would be, it'd be great if you would just give us, and this is like over a year ago. I'm paraphrasing, but you could ask him. Hey, Bob, it'd be great if you would just give us tasks. I'd be fine. $5,000, $8,000, whatever. If it's a great idea, then we're obviously going to take that great idea and convert it to, more than many times more than you're doing, right? So it's like it might not take as long, but also just like the experience and then the knowledge, right? Of like years of, I know the site sideways, up, ways, down, and then the business as well, right? So like you do as well, like everybody on the call does. But as far as like I guess my perspective a little bit different on this side, right? Like just bring ideas. And I just thought, and I wasn't trying to be, I was just trying to politely request. It could just be, I mentioned that to Roop. I think I mentioned it to you as well, Al. I am at MSI's. It is what I'm told, right? I can't go, oh no, So I'm just like, hey, I would like it, right? I think it's fair as far as looking at market rate, and you could just kind of Google AI. Hey, I need a consultant. I want him to give me this kind of advice. What would I typically pay? You don't have to pay me that, but I'm just saying that's what you would typically pay, and that's what I was just trying to get there.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you a question. What do you think MSI should pay for ideas from you on a monthly basis?
I was thinking the $3,000 that I put down for a couple
And
of.
does that get me one idea, 2 ideas, 10 ideas, or how many
2
hours?
ideas. I was thinking of 2 ideas, $1,500 an idea basically, and then also taking the then doing the work that I was doing here to kind of make it to where your team could execute those ideas. Kind of give it enough on the deck that I'm going to send that you guys could take it and run with it, or you could say, hey, you know what, Bob, why don't you just take that on, right? And then I would just credit back $1,000 on anything that was implemented. So it's basically, if we implement it, all of it, it's all negotiable, Al. And I was just trying to, again, my goal is to have this discussion, is all that I was looking for, and see what you think. If you want to make a decision now, if you want to just kind of chew on it, I'm fine with that too.
Bob, let's do this. Basically, you're saying $3,000 for 2 ideas, okay, at the $165 rate. That's about $9 to $10 an idea. Why don't we start with 1 idea a month, okay, for 10 hours at $165, so we're back to the $1,650.
Okay,
Just
one
give
idea.
Just give us 1 idea. We're saying the same thing. If your ideas prove to be very powerful, then we can increase it. So what I'm saying now is you have 10 hours a month at $165 to come up with a well thought out, well vetted idea. Do you think that's,
Okay.
I think 10 hours is reasonable for 1 idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll make it work. It's in range. Let's try it. How's that?
Let's try it, and then, we'll work through it, right? We're trying to work on this together and learn. So we're gonna say 1 idea, 10 hours max at 165 to 1650. Look, if you spend 8 hours, fine, I'm still gonna pay you the 1650 for 1 idea.
Okay. Now here's a question. Here's a question for you, Al. Don't think I'm a smart aleck. I have 2 ideas. Can I say 1 idea?
No,
You
let's
tell
work on
me.
1 idea.
I'll do what you want. I'll do what you want.
Hey, Bob, let's work on 1 idea, because in total transparency, you throw so many ideas at us at one time that we get overwhelmed. Because we have other
Gotcha.
things to do. I'd rather get a really good one idea. I know you want volume, but I don't need volume. I need be able to execute. And you throw so much at us because this is your, that sometimes we can't effectively do the research and get to it because we have, other parts of our job that we gotta get to. So let's go with one for 3 months.
That makes sense.
And
Well,
let's see
yeah,
how it works.
ideas are easy.
But
Go ahead, I
hopefully-
get it.
But hopefully this gives you one idea fully vetted, right? Because frankly, the presentation you just gave us on the manufacturer, it was a little loose. We had a lot of questions. We weren't clear. So hopefully this gives you an opportunity to really make it where it's like, yeah, I get it. We get it and it's fully vetted versus throwing
Gotcha.
something that's half baked. When it's half baked, we have a lot more questions and it gives us a lot more work. What we want out of you is, hey, this is a really good idea. This is who the audience is. Here's the benefit. Here's how we're gonna measure it. And here are the next steps. Now, MSI, can you handle the next steps if you like the idea? Or is it a Bob Nance Bush that's gonna handle it? If we say, Bob, you can do it, the next question is, Bob, how many hours do you think it's gonna take? And what's the cost? It's gonna cost $3,000. Bob, it's approved, go get it done. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. I don't know if you guys agree, team. That could be very helpful for us.
That works for me. And
Okay,
what I'll do, Al, is
Go ahead.
I'll fully vet that that second idea. Then that'll be so I'll be more fully prepared on that.
all right, do not send an email recapping this, because when you send an email, your interpretation is gonna be different than what I just said. And then we're gonna be going back and forth. I will recap everything to you. On what we talked about, the rates, what we're looking for. I will recap this to you, and if you disagree, then come back. Or if you disagree with what we just talked about, you're gonna of course say, hey, that's not the way I understood it, or yes, I agree. So, because the other time we were parallel doing, writing back, and then I think it just added more confusion. So let me first take a first stab at it, going back to you, and then so that we're all on the same page. So right now you owe us the authority and link tasks understanding, because that could be something that we build back. Then if we think you're better suited for that, then we need to figure out, does the price remain the same? Is it still $2,000 or does it look different? But you owe us an answer on that. I owe you an answer back on our new arrangement, which we just talked about, and then we'll go from there. Fair?
That sounds fair to me, Al. Thank you so much.
And then you owe us an answer on the manufacturer deal. I think there was some additional questions that Sharita asked. We need some answers on that too.
Yeah, I will look at that. What I'd like to do, and I'll send everybody a copy as well, just like executive summary, everything we discussed. And then yeah, that'll make sure that I think there's a few other things that I owe you. And but yeah, this stuff, if you want to send me the things that you described, I'll make sure I get the things that were that we talked about, and go through my notes.
All right, sounds good. Hey, I gotta run. Sorry, I had a hard stop at 1, but we'll catch up. Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks, Al. Thanks, everyone. Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
bye.
you. And thank you.